While many children around the world are counting down the sleeps to Christmas Day, the little mice of Mossy Glen are getting ready to celebrate their own special event, the Festival of Seeds. The story behind the Festival of Seeds is one of hope, love, friendship, and giving. It's a wonderful story which has been passed down through the ages from one generation of mice to the next. Wally's Eco Buddies, would you like to learn more about the Festival of Seeds? In the years gone by, the mice of Mossy Glen feasted every day, for the land was fertile and the rains were good. Not only was there a bountiful harvest to be obtained from the wild plants growing in the surrounding grasslands and forests, but they grew crops of their own: cabbages, pumpkins, lettuce, and leeks. The mice were plump and healthy until the great drought. For years the rains failed. At first the mice were not too concerned because they had stores of pickles and preserves in their larders, and the natural grasslands coped with the dry conditions. But as the drought continued, the grasses withered, the rivers and waterways dried up, and the crops failed. The mice began to starve. They became weaker and weaker and weaker. The grown-up mice searched tirelessly for seeds and tiny little tidbits for their mice babes, but with no luck. They stood helplessly by, watching their poor children collapse with hunger, knowing that unless there was a miracle, they would surely die. A miracle did occur, for Eglé, the swallow queen, was flying high overhead with all her subjects on their migration back to Europe, when she happened to look down and saw the parched land and the poor starving mice. Eglé was kind and good. She wept when she saw how dire their situation was, and that evening when the swallows settled for the night, she called a meeting and said, "Fellow swallows, you saw the Mossy Glen mice. I propose we help them, for if we don't, they will surely die." The other swallows tweeted amongst themselves. Not everybody agreed with Queen Eglé. "If we delay our migration, we could get caught up in the storms and put ourselves at risk," said one swallow. "Yes, you're right," said Eglé. "It's up to each individual to make their own choice. Who's with me?" And the swallows replied, we are, but we need to be quick so we don't get caught up in the storms. Be quick, be quick, be quick," they cried, as they set about collecting seeds from every type of plant growing in the land around Mossy Glen. And as the swallows dropped the seeds, the pile grew and grew and grew, so that the mice in Mossy Glen not only had enough food to feed themselves during the drought, but they had enough left over to plant so that the areas around Mossy Glen could once again be fertile and rich and beautiful and green. And so it came to pass that the mice of Mossy Glen survived the great drought, and every year since then they have celebrated the Festival of Seeds. It's a celebration of family and friends, where decorations are hung and gifts are exchanged. The little mice hang up empty grain sacks in the hope that the good swallow queen will know they've been good and fill them with gifts. It's a day of feasting and laughter and sharing, but most of all, the Festival of Seeds serves as a reminder of how the swallows put their own lives at risk to save the mice of Mossy Glen. Wally's Eco Buddies, in the weeks ahead, will be counting down the sleeps with the mice to the Festival of Seeds. If you'd like to find out more about the Wally and Molly stories and the Kloof Conservancy, you can follow the links provided.